What's going on, everyone? You are welcome to Web Chrony Online YouTube channel. Today we will be looking at operators in JavaScript. Operators are useful in programming and they enable applications to perform certain operations. In this lesson, we will take a look at 3 forms of operators in JavaScript and how they can be used to enhance our code. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing because there are more incredible contents coming up. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like because it supports me a lot and it helps the YouTube algorithm to recommend my videos to more people. Without wasting much time, let's go into the console and begin. Okay guys, so with my console opened, I will move my cursor to this icon and click to split my console into 2. So this is where I will be typing my codes and this is where I will be obtaining my feedback. I will begin with the arithmetic operators and we'll be looking at the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo, increment, and finally decrement. So beginning with the addition, let's have a number, example 8, bring our plus sign, another number, let's say 7, and run. And we get 15 because 8 plus 7 is 15. So that is all about the addition. Moving on to the subtraction, we use the minus sign. So when I say 8 minus 7 and run, I will get 1 because 8 minus 7 is 1. Moving on to the multiplication, we use asterisk to represent multiplication sign in JavaScript. So when I bring my asterisk like this and run, I will get 56 because 8 times 7 is 56. The next arithmetic operator that we are going to talk about is the division, and in JavaScript we use the / to represent the division. So let me use a number that can divide correctly, and let's say 8 divided by 2 and run, and we get 4 because 8 divided by 2 is indeed 4. The next one that we are going to talk about, which is the modulo, returns the remainder from an expression where one number divides the other. Let's take a look at dividing 8 by 3 and then run. You see that we don't obtain a whole number, we get a fraction or a decimal. Now in this case, we can use the modulo to return the remainder, and in JavaScript we use the % sign to represent the modulo. So when I bring my percent and then bring 3 and run, I get 2 because 3 goes into 8 2 times and the remainder is 2. Let me try 5 and run, I'll get 3 because 5 goes into 8 1 time, remainder 3. So we use the modulo to return the remainder of an expression. The next one that we are going to talk about is the increment, and to explain what the increment does, I will first of all create a variable and a function. So let me say I have a variable called likes and assign it to a number 0. I'll create a function and call this function increase likes like this and bring my parentheses, and then I will say return likes plus plus. So that is how we perform an increment. We bring 2 plus symbol. There shouldn't be any space between the variable and then the plus signs. All right, so if I run this, now the code has been run. If I copy this one and then invoke the function like this and run, see that I get 1, the next one I get 2, the next one I get 3. So let's think about it this way. Suppose you go to Facebook and then you see a post. You will see the like button there. When you press it, the number will increase by 1. So we use the increment operator to perform this operation, right? Great. So the next one is called the decrement, okay, where we can decrease a number. So let's take a look at how the decrement works. I will use the same variable. Let's try the likes and run. So at the moment we have used the increment to increase the value of likes to 4, right? So I'll create another function and call this one decrease likes like this, bring my parentheses and my curly bracket, and then I will return likes minus minus. So we use the plus plus for increment, minus minus for decrement, right? So when I run this function and then call and invoke this function like this and run again, I get 3, run again, I get 2. So that will be all for the arithmetic operators. Coming up is the comparison operators. Okay guys, now on the comparison operators, we are going to take a look at comparing numbers using the greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, straight equal to, not equal to, and then straight not equal to. Now what will happen is that upon the evaluation it will return a boolean. So it will return whether the comparison turns out to be true or false. So beginning with the greater than, let's say I bring 6 and then bring my closing angle bracket, which is used to represent the greater than symbol, and say 5 and run, I will get true because indeed 6 is greater than 5. If I try a bigger number, say 7, and then run, it turns out to be 4 because 6 is not greater than 7. As simple as that. Now to change this around to the less than, we use the opening angle bracket or the open angle bracket, and when we run it like this, we obtain true because 6 is less than 7. If I try a smaller number, let's say 4, and run, it turns out to be false because 6 is not less than 4. Now moving on to the greater than or equal to, just as we do in mathematics, to have a greater than or equal to expression or comparison in JavaScript, you bring your greater than symbol, which is the closing angle bracket, and then we bring our equal sign like this. And what this comparison does is that it checks whether the first number is greater than or equal to the second number. This comparison operator is very necessary, especially when you have a page that can be accessed based on, let's say, age. So when the visitor or the client enters their age and the age is less than 18, you can redirect the person to a different page, and when the person's age is 18 or above, maybe you can allow them to access the page. I hope you get what I'm trying to say here. Yes. Now, so we bring the greater than symbol first, followed by the equal sign, and there shouldn't be space because when you bring space, it makes the thing wrong, right? What do you think will happen if I decide to bring the equal sign first? Let's try and then find out what we get. So I bring my equal sign and then my greater than, and when I run, I will get an error because we use the equal sign and the closing angle bracket to write an arrow function. So it takes it as an arrow function. So when you look at the error, it says invalid arrow function argument, right? Great. So the angle bracket comes first, followed by the equal sign. When you switch things around, then you get the less than or equal to. Okay, now we are moving on to the equal to, and there are two of them. We have the normal equal comparison and then the straight equal comparison. So let's take a look at 5, bring double equal sign, that is the normal equal comparison. Okay, and let me have another 5, but this time around it will be of data type string. When I run, it returns true. Okay, because in this kind of comparison we only check the figures or the data. All right, but when I bring an extra equal sign and then run, it turns out to be false because when we bring 3 equal signs, we are not only checking the figures, we are also checking the data types, right? When you take a look at this, you realize that the first 5 is of data type number, and then the second 5 is of data type string. So when we bring 3 equal signs to perform a strict equal comparison, we check both the value and the data type. Now moving on to the not equal to, we can also perform a loose not equal to and a strict not equal to. So for example, let's say I have 4 here as data type string, and I clear two of the equal signs and bring an exclamation mark and then run, it turns out to be true. So we say 5 is not equal to 4. Okay, if I bring an extra 1 and then run, I also get true, because indeed 5 is not equal to 4. Now what if I bring 5 here and then run? I still get true. Let me remove 1 and then run, I get false. Okay, when we bring an exclamation sign in front of two equal signs, we are performing a strict not equal comparison, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that will be the end for comparison operators. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you are enjoying this video, leave a like on it. Coming up is the logical operators. Okay guys, so moving on to the logical operators, we will be looking at 3 different operators. We will look at the AND operator, OR operator, and the NOT operator. Beginning with the AND operator, we use the AND operator to evaluate more than one conditions, and all must turn out to be true in order to meet the requirement. So let's take a look at this. I will declare 3 variables, one called val1 and assign it to true like this. I'll call another one val2 and assign it to false, and then finally val3 and assign this one to true as well, like this. So I'll create a function called compare AND. Okay, so I'll say function compare AND like this, and then I'll bring my parentheses, I'll bring my curly bracket, and then I'll say if into bracket val1. And to perform the AND operation, we use the ampersand symbol, and the ampersand symbol like this, we bring 2 of them. So the first thing to evaluate there, then the next one will follow. So I'll say val2 like this. So what we are going to do here is that if everything turns out to be true, we should return good like this. Else I'm going to return try again like this, and then run. Good. So I'll comment these codes out and then copy the name of the function and then paste it here and invoke it and run. So when I run this code, it brings the try again, and the reason is that the val2 has a value of false, but the AND operator says that everything that we are evaluating should turn out to be true. So if I uncomment the function like this and then change the val2 to val3 like this and then run, okay, the val3 is also false, right? So let me create another one. Let val4 equal to true like this, and then call the val4 here and then run. Then it will turn out good because both val1 and val4 are true. Okay, so this is how the AND operator works. It evaluates more than one expression, and if all of them turns out to be true, then we move on to run something. Otherwise we can run something else. Now moving on to the next thing, I'll comment this one out, and then I'll also comment this one out, and we move on to the OR operator. I'll create another function and call this one compare OR like this, and then bring my parentheses and then my curly bracket. So I'll say if into bracket val2, and to perform an OR operation we use the pipe. So we bring double pipes to perform the OR operator, and let's say val3, and then I'll bring my curly bracket and say return good and then I'll have my else block here, and then I will say return try again, like this. Now what the OR operator does is simple. One of the things we are evaluating should be true. If one of them is true, then we can do something. In this case, the code in the if block will execute. Otherwise, the one in the else block will execute. Okay, now don't forget val 2 is false, and then val 3 is also false. So I'll copy the name of the function like this, bring it down here, paste it here, and then invoke it. And when I run it like this, I'll get try again. And do you know why? Both of the things we are evaluating are turning out to be false. If I bring, let's say, val 1, which is true, and then run, it brings the good, because at least we have one of the things evaluating to be true. So we use the AND operator to evaluate multiple things, and all of them should evaluate to be true. And with the OR, at least one of the conditions should be true. Is that okay? Great. So I'll clear everything from here, and we'll move on to the last one, which is the NOT operator. Now what the NOT operator does is simple. It negates its operand. What I mean is that if the thing is true, it will turn it to false, and if it is false, it will turn it to true. As simple as that. So let me say not true, and then run, it will return false. And when I say not false and then run, it returns true. So let's say I create another variable called val5 and then assign it to not val1, like this, and then run. Okay, don't forget the value for val1 is true. So if I call val5 like this and then run, then it will return false. The NOT operator is very useful, especially when you want to toggle something. Okay, so let's say you want to change the theme of the website or application from light mode to dark mode. Okay, when you click, when it is already off or false, it means we are in the light mode, and when it is on, we are in the dark mode. So once you click it, you will just change it. Okay, instead of reassigning the variables to make the code verbose and slow, we can just use the NOT operator to do the switch. Okay guys, this is where we wrap it all up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, kindly leave a like on the video because it helps me. I appreciate that a lot. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you are joining us for the very first time, I encourage you to visit the playlist and then take it from the very beginning and bring it up. I hope to see you in the next lesson. Until we meet again, enjoy your life.